Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz and this is Liz Talks. Before we go into this interview, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll be first to be notified anytime we upload a new video. And this interview is going to be an exclusive one. And this gentleman has been in the industry for quite some time now, and we bring them bare and uncovered so that you can also have a listen and know things that maybe you never knew they did. But before then, we're going to come back after this quick commercial break. Stay with us. Right, we are back from that quick one, and the gentleman I'm talking about, I think he shut a lot of people who are into comedy. He brought himself out and then he put some people down. Kalybos. Welcome.
I like that. I shut myself up and I put people down.
You shut yourself up and you put some people down.
Well, that's life and living it. You need to.
But have you realized that?
It's part of life, if you are to ask me. Because climbing up the ladder, you definitely meet people who are also trying to, attain where you're heading towards. So in the midst of that, it's how persevered you are and how passionate you want to do whatever you have to do. So in moving up, definitely some will be coming down. And when it hits that plateau, it will change. You get it. So that's life.
So would you say 2012 was your year of breakthrough?
2012.
Yes.
Well, okay. So a little background about me is I have I always put it this way. I have the behind the scene life, and I also have the in front of the scene life. Why am I saying this? Because I started as a crew person, yes, which most people don't know about. So I started working in the industry way back as in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah. So my actual transformation from being a crew person to in front of the camera person, so to say an actor, that took that swift after 2012 going. So you're right. So it was a learning process before, and the 2012 actually gave birth to my screen
Kalybos.
time. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So before 2012, take us through your schooling, your childhood days.
Sure. I'm from a Christian background.
Okay.
Yeah. And way back in school, let me just fast forward to secondary school.
Yeah.
That was where the whole birth of Kalybos came about. In the boys' school, I attended Suhum Sectec.
Yeah.
So one culture with our school is you have your school father giving you your name.
Exactly.
That was our culture in the school. So my school father, I don't know what was wrong with him. He gave me all sorts of names that I didn't like.
Like.
So that night is
which name?
Oh, he gave me Kotodwe. Can you imagine?
Kotodwe. And what?
Because I was skinny, and the only thing that it's coming out protruding is my knee.
Wow. And you were quite skinny.
Very skinny, because I loved sports. I played basketball a lot, so it made every sport athlete you find, protruding knee. But anyway, all sorts of names, but I didn't like them. So he actually told me to come up with my name. And this name is what you outdoor during the homos night. And that will be the name they'll call you till you're done. Because no one goes to the school asking of Obri Frempong, Samoa, Atuba. No, everything has to do with your Nikki.
Exactly.
So I started to think of names, and I was a bit creative with mine. My actual birth name is Richard Kweku Owusu Asante. Exactly. So I picked the Kweku because that was the most called name by my peers and everybody, family. So I picked the K.
Okay.
And I added my surname Asante A. And I have two siblings. They're both female.
Yeah, okay.
One is Lady and one is Ya.
Who's the oldest?
Ya.
Okay.
Yes. As I said, I was creative about the name. And the youngest is Lady. So it formed Kali. So Kali was, more catchy. I was like, okay, I'm in for boss and Ganesha. So when I added the boss, I still wanted the uniqueness out of the name. So I omitted one S out of it. So it became Kalybos, the only boss with one S.
Okay.
And that has been the name people call me by till dates. My dad is not too much a fan of Nicky names and all that. So he was very straight about it.
So I'm sure you was asking why you
yeah, the friends, with the school banwa throw din book you get it. Kalybos was here some. So yeah, it became something that people started calling me with, and it became a whole household name, so to say. Yes, so that's how I derived the name Kalybos until now.
And now it's an international name. It's everywhere.
Well, because people hardly call me by my name.
People hardly know your name.
Exactly. So, and Kalybos, I prefer it that way because it makes it very prestigious.
Exactly. It's nice to hear. So, before, like during school days, did you ever have it in mind to act or to be in front of the camera? Did you ever think of it?
I knew I'll one day have to act.
You knew?
Yes, because from childbirth, with this church, drama thing, I was very, very active in these things. Okay. And in primary, I attended one of the best, if you have to talk, the primary preparatory school. Back in the days, they used to call it the Chechekule, Uncle George. That was the school I attended, St. Anthony's Preparatory School. And that school, when you have talent in you, trust me, one way or the other, you are perfect, because there are a lot of activities that's supposed to bring out the talent in kids. Exactly. We had fan fairs, we had talent nights, we have talent shows and all that. So I started with dancing. And in the midst of it, I put on the acting bit of it. So it was something I was carefully studying. But then my passion grew more into the let me just say the act of technology when it has to do with camera editing. I start to watch movies. I love movies a lot. I watch movies and I'm like, how do they do this? How is the camera showing the face of someone who is holding? So I was very particular about this. Exactly. Although I studied building construction in school. Exactly. So I had to, continue with architecture and
so
tech.
How come? Because architecture and
exactly. It's two different things. So
different.
I actually had to put everything on hold, although I gained admission into tech and all that. But then I had to put that on hold because my survey I made with architecture in universities, you go for 7 years, and I saw some of the faith and faith students, and I lost hope because architect in Ghana, trust me, you need to build that in the European countries, the Western countries. They are more enthused into these things, not in Ghana. Ghana, the only labor be now on contractor before manner. We see that anyway. So attention is not paid on them. And hence it makes finding job a very difficult thing for them. So I ascertained myself and I was like, okay, let me bring out something different that I'm very passionate about, but I don't pay attention to, because our Ghanaian parent system, they've told you to go and study in school, that's what you have to do. Exactly. So it brought a little challenge between my parents more. My dad especially.
He didn't want you to go into acting.
I work with your fees school. Now say we jay into Abefi. You get it. So I wasn't actually talking to him.
He had his personal reasons.
Oh, me, I felt it's a whole Ghanaian parent thing, because when they have to pay fees and they know you have to become a doctor, trust me, you have to go and learn medicine to become the doctor they want. So if you have to come out and say, oh, I don't want to be a doctor. That's where the problem is. So that was what I found myself in. So I had to enter into the movie industry. And how did I do that? Now, a little backstory about my dad. He's a renowned photographer as well. He tutored his immediate first apprentice was a man called John Passer. I'm not using was because he's still alive.
He's still alive.
But I'm talking about the profession. He's called John Passer. So that's what happened. I came back to Accra, and then I attended one of Shirley Frimpong Mansell's movie premiere. That was a Stain in a Tale, I think. Yes. So I got there and I saw John Passer. And I knew John Passer when I was growing up because he used to work with my dad and all that. He saw me, I was like, may I then will be a more tech. So I told him what I wanted to follow up on. That was cinematography. And he was like, okay. But then he's still, if you have to ask me, the renowned director of photography in Ghana.
Exactly.
Because he's learned, he's attained what he has to do, he's proven his points. It's like, okay, I can let you come study and work with me. But then we have to go and talk to your dad about it. See, as a mama. Because this person, we are not even talking. Now you are going to tell him, now this is what you want to do. I'm like, okay. But then he went ahead to speak to my dad. My dad kind of bought into the idea, all because I'll be understudying John Passer. So that was a cool job for me.
Oh, okay.
So that was when I started working with John Passer in the industry. I was, being an assistant for him on Salam sets, on Lele sets, on Shelley. So he finally stationed me on Sparrow's production. That was Shelley Frimpong Manson. Because he was still the head, he's still the head at TV3 Gamma Films as John Passer. So he was, doing two jobs in that era. So I picked and I studied quick, and I started operating cameras for him, and then he'll be directing the lights and then directing the photography and all that. So the whole change of it started on Shelley Frimpong Mansell's sets. When I'm operating camera and then I see some of the actors doing certain acts, or like, come here, let me see, I would have done it. So all along, I was just picking up bits and pieces on all this acting thing. And it was a joyful moment on Shelley's set because she herself attended NAFTI.
Okay.
My boss, John Passer, attended NAFTI. The sound guy, Sefa, attended NAFTI. Like every crew person there had gone through NAFTI. So that was the question. What's this NAFTI thing?
So
I was very curious. I wanted to know because now I know the technical know-hows. I know how to do everything when it has to do with cinematography. Now the theory part of it is what I was lacking. So I spoke to him about it that I want to go to. So he even went to buy me my forms from NAFTI, exactly. So I enrolled into NAFTI. So in my first year, NAFTI course it's a whole degree course. So I studied cinematography. That's what I have a degree in. In the first, second year, you study everything. It's been directing, sound, editing, all these sectors. So in your fourth to your final year, that's what you major in, what you want to do. Exactly. So my first year is when I met one guy, Kofi Asamoah. He was a director in Kumasi, which he also came to NAFTI to learn the theory part of it. That was where I also met Ahuofe Patricia, She had
was also a student?
Yes, we were in the same class. She has also completed Miss Malaika, but then I think she was the fourth or the third runner-up, something like that. So among with other guys, Peter Sedofia, most of these key, crew guys. So that was where the whole idea came up. We started to think about, okay, let's try and
so who brought up the idea?
We started to Kofi Asamoah, myself, and then one guy.
He single-handedly picked each of you?
Yes.
Or were you guys?
As I was saying, we were all in a class. So
so he chose you?
Exactly. Okay. Let me just put it that way. So we were all picked up, because he had the idea of let's do something to put out. So the idea first was with, shots. Films, which we entered into film festivals and all that, the Cannes Film Festivals and all that. So in the midst of it, we thought to do comedy skits. That was when, what I learned and what people knew about me was the camera. So, I'm the one to operate the camera. We had the whole set, Ahuofe was there and all that, but I wasn't the one to act. We had a guy from Legon, performing arts, I've forgotten his name, the name will come back. So he was supposed to show up for the acting. He was supposed to act as the character with that Ahuofe thing. You get it. So we went on set up everything. Everybody was ready for this guy. He never showed up. He never called. We were calling him. His phone wasn't going through. I was like, Charlie,
God.
we want to rent. I mean, we're students by then. We don't have the money for the cameras. So we, bring in little bit to go rent. I was like, I bet go party and coconut. So I read Kofi Star by the camera. I was like, I know the script. I know what we are doing. Let me just act it. Let's go. Now acted that Benny. So I have something. Let me just unleash it. Let's see. So we did it. We went back to our hostel, editing. Because we needed the guy. And now
he didn't show up.
Now we ban all the ideas. Ideas, real. Then no copy. So one guy, I remember, an editing guy came to cooperate. It was going on people's phone. That was the first sketch we did with. I did with Ahuofe when I was standing by a Camry car. Or by me boasting them come and ride near you be as a car no to go. So that was when the whole Medium started and all that. So we edited and it was on people's phone. One and Papa the same name. It will be a school course at the end. You see, Papa knew. Happy next day or saying, fine, more. If you can do more, I like.
So he was interested.
Yes. So that was when it started, and before we realized now, TV3 were playing it in between their programs.
Wow.
It's like, okay, Charlie, this thing has a potential. So what's the harm? Let's just keep on doing more of it.
Exactly.
So we started filming skits after skits, and before we realized, we took over the internet because it was a whole new YouTube sensation thing coming up, which has to do with short comedy skits.
Yes.
In Ghana.
And by then it wasn't common.
No, it wasn't at all. You only find them in a lengthy one in a movie. But the short ones, so it was giving people the chill and the breaks between, lunchtime, watch, laugh.
Exactly.
So it started picking up, and we started filming skits after skits, and it became a whole household.
That's a good one. So would you say acting pays?
Acting pays. It does. And it depends on which sector you put yourself in and how equipped you've put up yourself to match up with the industry already. You want to be an actor. There are 1,000 actors out there.
Exactly.
What is unique about yours? What are you coming to do? When it has to do with drama, sister, you can't do more drama than Majid, Monet, exactly. They are all there. They've been doing it, and these are the faces we know.
Yeah.
So it's about
to stand out.
Yes, what you put onto yourself to make you stand out from the rest. You get it. And I chose mine through the comedy sector. Okay. Because I felt to be comical enough, you need to have it. You need to have the power to make people laugh.
Exactly.
And if you don't do it with too much aggressiveness, or you do it on a chill and it comes naturally, you've already scored like 50% of it. Now all that adds up is what you bring on board to make it unique. So acting, to answer your question, it really pays out, because if it doesn't, there wouldn't be rock and the DiCaprios and all these Brad Pitts and making waves with
our
movies.
World is different from them.
Exactly, because they started with from a point.
Exactly.
You understand? So if we're also buying into the acting, bit as a whole economical income for an individual, then you need to put what it takes to it. There are very few acting schools, if you have to ask me, because they don't see it as a lucrative business enough. You just have to have the passion and go and do it. But then there's a no to it. That's why I started with the camera. I knew, okay, now I've learned how to shoot, cut, frame, compose, all that. Now, why do I have to frame? Why do I have to compose? That's why I had to enroll into NAFTI to learn about it. Exactly.
So far, how many movies have you acted in? Can you give us like a quick count?
Over 50.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yes.
And how many awards?
Awards, I have like 6 awards. Exactly. My first award was with the Ghana Movie Awards. I was the Discovery of the Year.
Oh, okay.
Yes. They came up with Goldie Movie Awards. I had 2 of them. the comic actor, then another supporting actor, then another award from US.
British something awards.
And then another British, yes,
You
black.
and Ahuofe.
Yes. And some couple of other, I think close to 10 though.
Throughout acting, what are the challenges that you faced ever since you started?
Well, it wouldn't do with, a bit of it has to do with the industry that we find ourselves in, which we weren't prepared for that. But then as you enter into it, it puts up a lot of challenges. It's been personal, it's been, you know, work ethics and all that. But I believe in every sector of work there's challenges there, but then when it has to do
you
personally.
tell me a personal one, but you hold it there. We'll be back after this quick commercial break. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. Okay, welcome back from that quick break. Kalybos.
Yes, Lizzie.
Yes. You call personal challenge, you know.
Personal challenge.
Yes.
Okay, so one will, I mean, definitely it will still have to do with the field of acting career, because in our local settings, you know, if you're seen on TV,
Exactly.
you know that.
That's the mentality.
Exactly, and from my background of family, the accounts are more of the extended family, you know, of ourselves, who often we have cry. You get it. So it put on more challenge on me financially when it has to do with, you know, supporting people. And education is one thing I deem it very serious, because it's if not for anything, it's a stepping stone to actually know what kind of career choice you can pick up for yourself in the future. So I make it a point to educate at least some of my, I can't say all of them, because it be why break me. You watch it, they do so well through the secondary school system, and then now they have to enter into the university. That's where the chunk of the money also comes in. So at time you have to just maneuver it, put a pause on some, look after some, and all that. So financially, I'll say personally, that's the challenge, which till dates I still go through. But then I feel it's for a good cause, so why not? I'll still do it. So far as, you know, we're still in the movie sector, and then things are going on well.
It will be well. So far, what's your biggest endorsement you've ever had since you started acting?
To have to do with Airtel by then.
Okay.
Because when we started with the skit thing, and then the telcos were on loggerheads with each other, because they needed a sensational person to drive their campaign.
Exactly.
So I think they started, MTN poached me first, which I did.
So why did you decline that one?
So
how much were you paid?
For
Airtel.
You see, with deals like this, you sign an NDA. You know what an NDA is, right?
So you don't need to talk about it. Okay, give us a raw figure.
Raw figure. Good money.
I know.
It's a raw figure.
I know. Tell us something. Give us a gist.
My biggest will be Airtel, which
you're running away from the question. You don't want to give us a raw figure.
No, I'm giving, you know, insights about Airtel, and after you can just guess the figure.
No, we are not guessing.
Well, it was good enough to cater for myself, Ahuofe Patricia, and Kofi Asama.
And coming back to Ahuofe Patricia, is it that you had a crush on her, or you were dating her?
Oh, Ahuofe, they had a crush on her. Who would they have a crush on her?
Okay, it's just a crush.
You know, some crush, you wish it would turn into something else, and which will never happen.
Why?
Because I couldn't make it.
Why?
I always blow up.
As in?
I blow the chance up.
So would you?
So the skit now, it's actually reality, sister. I tried and it blew up, and
okay, so you can still give
so
it a
that
try.
actually came up with the whole idea with the whole Ahuofe and Kalybos thing, because in reality I was trying to.
You liked her?
Yes, I liked her.
But did you tell her?
Why am I saying I'm not saying?
Oh, Debbie Jaisa.
That was it.
So that means you weren't bold enough to tell her you liked it.
I was bold.
So why?
One friend is serious.
Till date.
Still,
but now she's not dating. So why don't you still approach her? And why you are not also married, so you can just give it a try again.
Oh, Muhammad cry.
So why did you go out with her recently if there's nothing going on between you two?
I went out with her
recently. You guys were out.
See, my name is Ahuofe someday. Moka be a third person.
And yes, you're a third person.
Ahuofe, if you close, you know what Ahuofe means to me. She's been a sister. She's been a partner. She's been I know not starting. But there's never been a date. Or there's never been a Kalybos going out with Ahuofe, no.
And you don't see yourself in that picture?
Oh, why?
Anytime soon?
That was in the days, an after time, but now I realized.
I thought they're saying around.
Oh, Cecilia.
No, we can't.
She even gave me the woman I'm dating now.
So you've brought somebody in the picture?
There's someone in the picture.
So there's no Ahuofe Patricia again?
Ahuofe, as I said, will always be in the picture. Imagine.
So in other words, you always love her. She has a place in your heart.
Yes.
Forever.
She's my dynamic pair. Let me just put it that way. So it's
your other half is listening, no?
Yes, she's very much aware.
That
you to me come near her fast.
So why don't you go for her if you want her?
Now I'm dating.
You said she will forever have a space in your heart.
Yes, which she's aware.
A space, as in you forever love her.
Who said space form? Space. Ahuofe will be my forever sweetheart. Let me just put it that way. We respect each other to the extent that it moves past the whole scenario of people talking about redating, and it works for the work. So I'm okay with it. I never deny it when people ask me, "Do you have a?"
Because you loved her.
I can't hate her.
I know you don't hate her,
yes,
but you love her.
Either love or hate. There are two things involved. I love Ahuofe Patricia. I can't hate her. I love her as a sister. I love her as a working colleague.
You just said you love her.
I love her.
That's
it.
He loves Ahuofe Patricia. That's it.
She's aware of it.
Yes. So don't say as a sister. Don't add sister to it. Let's go.
Sister love.
So what's that one thing that you've ever done and had regrets about? One thing.
Ever had regrets about? Not being able to save my mom. Let me just put it that way.
What happened?
She fell sick. And, it wasn't the right time for her to fall sick, if I'm to say. Which, if I'm to sit back to reckon ahead with what God has been able to bless me with, which I can easily pull a string for any help, it being financially or health-wise or anything at all, which I could have done it at this era. But then I wasn't able to do that, and through that I lost my mom. So that's the biggest regret.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Okay, so what are your future ambitions? Looking.
Oh, it's very bright.
Yes.
Very, very, very.
Do you
bright.
have any upcoming projects?
Yes, I do. That was. Let me just say, before the lockdown, last year February. Okay, so I had my first international deal with Netflix, which we shot in South Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Which the whole thing was to, unfold in USA. So we're to come back after a month, and then we go back to film, and that was when the lockdown came up and everything was just put on standstill. So it's still in the pipeline, and then we hope to see it go through soon.
It will.
Which
we'll look forward to that.
Ghanaians will be proud of it.
Exactly,
because I represented Ghana full swing.
That's a great achievement.
I had to speak my Ghanaian language.
Yes, why are they?
I had to tell the director that's what I want to do. So I mixed it up, and they liked it.
It was just nice.
Yeah.
So what are your final words to
Oh, final
people watching
words
you?
is my Momo number.
Your fans?
Come the Momo number beto. I said I saw for no more we be our moye 020. Okay, anyway.
The 7 years of. Oh yeah, Joe.
My final words to people, it's really hard to try and bring forth what you've pictured in your mind to attain in life when you don't have support, especially. So it's always one thing I always say: you keep on doing what you're doing. There's always a turning point somewhere. Even with the long stretch of road, it's been the motor or anything, there's always a U-turn at the corner. So just keep on doing what you're doing and reckon ahead, self-teach yourself to acquire the knowledge you want to do. It's a first stepping stone for you to do what you're doing. And then in the midst of doing things that you don't get it done, it actually brings to you what we call experience. Because experience, I say, is what you gain when you don't get what you want. Okay. So it makes you experience in a certain field because you keep on doing it. Now you know the don'ts and the do's and everything about it. So keep on doing, keep on pushing. It's never easy. Coming from me, it's never easy. You'll get there one day.
Thank you, Kal.
Thank you, too.
It was a great interview right here. Thanks for staying with us. But always remember that there's light at the end of every tunnel. Special thanks to my producer, executive producer, my crew members, cameraman, my director, everybody that made the show a success. Till we come your way again, always remember that in everything you do, let God lead and everything will end well. My name is always and will always be Liz. See you again. Bye.